The abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town had been standing for years, its walls weathered and worn by time. The locals whispered that strange things happened there at night, but nobody had dared to venture inside in years. One night, a group of teenagers, bored and looking for excitement, decided to explore the warehouse. As they crept through the dark corridors, they came across a locked door that seemed out of place, curiosity getting the better of them. They managed to pry it open and stepped inside. What they saw inside the room chilled them to the bone. Dozens of mannequins stood motionless, arranged in eerie poses, their plastic eyes staring blankly at nothing. The room was filled with the musty smell of old fabric and rotting wood, and the air was thick with an oppressive sense of dread. As the teenagers cautiously stepped further into the room, they suddenly heard the sound of footsteps echoing from the darkness beyond. They turned to run, but the door slammed shut behind them, trapping them inside with the silent mannequin. Panic set in as they realized that the mannequins were not as lifeless as they seemed. One by one, they began to move, their plastic limbs creaking as they shuffled closer to the terrified teenagers. The mannequins' eyes glinted with malevolent intent, and the teenagers realized with horror that they were not alone in the room. The mannequins had taken on a life of their own, and they were hungry for flesh. The teenagers fought for their lives, swinging wildly at the mannequins with whatever they could find. But it was no use. The mannequins were relentless, and they slowly closed in on their prey. As the first screams echoed through the warehouse, the locals who had warned against entering the building gathered outside, too scared to intervene. They knew what happened to those who crossed the threshold, and they prayed that the teenagers would make it out alive. But as the sun rose the next morning, there was no sign of the teenagers. The only evidence of their presence was the open door to the room, filled with lifeless mannequins once again. The locals never spoke of the abandoned warehouse again, and it remained a place of dark secrets and unspeakable horrors. See you in the next tale when we listen to another scary story.